So maybe begin our class by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times all together. Namo Tassa
Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo
Namo
Tassa
Tassa
Bhagavato
Arahato
Arahato
Samma
Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato
Arahato
Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa.
My homage to the 3 point gem, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. My deep respect to Sayadaw Revata, our special lecturer today, and my respect to Venerable monks. My best regard to new lay students present here as well. So come back to our discussion. Buddhism in English level 4 conducted by Dhammika Academy International. So today we still have to discuss in the topic of the Noble Eightfold Path, but today I think it is a special one that we discuss about how we can apply, how we can put into practice the Noble Eightfold Path in daily life. So I would like to brief for the agenda today. At first, I will invite Sayadaw Ashin Revata to deliver a talk on the middle path in daily life, and for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then we have another 30 minutes for the Q&A, for question and answer. We have a bit long time. We spend around 30 minutes for the Q&A, question and answer, because previous lecture we have no chance to ask question, because if you have any doubt that you don't understand, you don't fully understand about the Noble Eightfold Path, so that you can ask here, Sayadaw will respond your answer as much as he can. And after that, I will invite one student on behalf of all the students to express his appreciation and gratitude for Sayadaw that we have learned, we have absorbed from the lesson, from the lecture. And then we have the break room discussion for about 20 minutes. So this is the agenda for today. So now it's time for us to listen to the the Dhamma talk delivered by Sayadaw Ashin Revata. You all familiar with him because he last time he also presented about the 4 noble truths already. So you all may be familiar with him, so I don't need to introduce about him more. So now I would like to invite Sayadaw to deliver a talk on the Noble Eightfold Path in daily life. So Sayadaw, please, the floor is yours.
Okay, before starting our lecture, I'd like to say thank you very much, Venerable Sorata, to invite me to present about the Eightfold Noble Path here. So last time also I presented about the 4 Noble Truths. In the 4 Noble Truths, the last one is a Mega Sajya. The last one is a Mega Seja, the path leading to the cessation of Dukkha. So in that last noble truth, the Buddha said, oh, this, O bhikkhus, is the noble truth of the path leading to the cessation of suffering. It is simply the Noble Eightfold Path, namely right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effect, right awareness or mindfulness, and right concentration. So I hope you all have already known these Eightfold Noble Path. And if we learn the Buddha's teaching, we should know these 5 kinds of order as well. So order means Kamma in Pali. So Desana Kamma, order or teaching. So when the Buddha preached these Eightfold Noble Path, the Buddha started with the Sammaditthi and Sammasankappa. Extra, the Buddha preached orderly, starting from the Sammaditthi. So that is called Desanagama, order or teaching. But there is one kind of order that is a Upadikama, order or arising. It is a naturally arising. We cannot arrange, we cannot reorder. So naturally it arises one after another. It means a Upadikama, like when we before being born as a being, so we had to conceive in a mother's womb. So at that time, firstly the embryos as a embryo, we have been like that. After that, the Chakku, Soda, Gana, Jengwa, etc. Naturally, they arise one after another. We cannot order them. So it is called Upadikama. Upadikama. Another one, the order of eradicating Pahanekama. So it is concerned with the eradicating the defilements. So when the Sodapadimagga eliminates defilements, so it eradicates the deity and Vijikesa first as a Sodapadimagga. And Sakadagami it can reduce the other, Kamaraga and Dosa, etc. And then Nagami Magga eradicate that Kamaraga and Dosa completely. And Arada Magga eradicate the remaining defilements, something like that. So orally they eradicate, they remove and they cut out the defilements. That is called Pahanekama. And fourth one, Patipadikama. So although the Buddha preached starting from the Sammaditthi, so when we actually practice the Eightfold Noble Path, we should step from the Sila Sekha. So it is a Sammawaja, Sammakamada, Samma-aziva. So as you all know, so we should step from the Sila together with the, a kind of Sammaditthi. So although the Buddha preached Sammaditthi very fast, but when we actually practice, we should step from the Sila as well. So it means Patipadikama, order or practicing, order or meditating. And the last one, Bhumikama, is a concerned with the realms or abodes or planes of the beings. So according to Buddha's Abhidhamma, so we have a 31 planes or 31 realms. So starting from the Kama Bhumi, the realm of sensual planes, sensual spheres. So Kama Bhumi, Rupa Bhumi, and Arupa Bhumi, etc. Starting from the Kama Bhumi and then Rupa Bhumi. After that, Arupa Bhumi. In this way, we must order according to the realms or according to the abodes. So these are the different kinds of orders, 5 kinds of order we should know when we study the Buddha's teaching. So sometimes we had to emphasize Desanagama, or how the Buddha preached the Eightfold Noble Path starting from the Samadhi. But when we actually practice, so from which noble path we should step, we should know like this. So that's why, so we should realize and we should understand these 5 kinds of order firstly. As you know, there are, basically there are 3 kinds of trainings. The first one is a training of morality, or moral conduct, or self-discipline. It's called Sila Sikha in Pali. And the second one, training of concentration, Samadhi Sikha, mental discipline, Samadhi Sikha. And the third one, training of wisdom, insight and transcendental knowledge. It is called in Pali, Panya Sikha. So starting from the training of morality, we should practice the Eightfold Noble Path. That is also sometimes called Satipatthana. Satipatthana is also a name of Eightfold Noble Path. So when we practice insight meditation, we might use the Eightfold factors, Eightfold paths. Not only in our meditation practice, but also in our daily life also we can apply these Eightfold factors. So as you see here, training of morality is a moral conduct or self-discipline. So it is a sila, is a kind of discipline to make our bodily action and verbal action be right. The training of morality can make our bodily action and verbal action right and good. In this way, the training of concentration, so it can make our mental discipline be okay and be all right and be right. And the last one, training of wisdom, it can make our mind to intuitive, to enlightened, and to understand the nature of mind and body. So in our daily life also, we must have a training of morality. We must have a, discipline. So it means, in other words, to be honored is a morality. So to be successful in our life, firstly, the thing we need in our life is a being honest. To be honest depends on honesty. If we try to be successful in our life, we can be successful step by step. So we can also use the concentration, focusing on what we are doing, what we are trying to get. So as a student, to pass the exam and to understand the lessons, we need to focus on our lessons or on our subjects. So if we can focus by using the training of concentration, so we can be successful in our life. And also we can use the training of wisdom, especially understanding. We should understand what we are doing. So if we don't understand what we are doing, we cannot be successful. That's why to be successful in our life, we should understand, we should realize what we are doing and what is our goal and what is our destiny. So we should know clearly. In this way, we can also use the morality, concentration, and wisdom. In other words, we can use the Eightfold Noble Paths in our daily life. So we can also see like this in our meditation practice, 3 steps to reach Nibbāna. So the purpose of practicing insight meditation is to reach Nibbāna, to realize Nibbāna. So to reach Nibbāna, there are 3 steps we must cross or we must pass. So the first one is Sila. Sila is the beginning of the dispensation, beginning of the Buddha's sasana. And that is good because it brings about the special qualities of no remorse and so on. So if we have a sila, if we can observe morality, if we can practice sila, so we can be happy without remorse. So that is a quality of sila. If we are an honored person, so we can be happy in our life. Wherever we go, we can be happy because we don't need to worry about what we are doing regarding, sometimes as a unvirtuous person, so they can commit some laws and some they can commit the training rules and they can break their laws. So because of that, they had to be worried about them all the time, wherever they go. But as a virtuous person, so as an honored person, they can be happy because they haven't broken any laws or they haven't committed any training rules. That's why they can be happy. And the second one, samadhi, is the middle of the dispensation. That is good because it brings about the special qualities of supernormal power and so on. So the highest expectation by practicing samadhi is a special qualities of supernormal power. So we can expect to attain jhana and abhiññana in Pali. So absorption states and supernormal power we can expect by practicing samadhi. In other words, we can also expect to see the nama and rupa as they really are, because samadhi can support us, our meditation mind, to see the reality of the nama and rupa. So samadhi can be divided into two: samatha samadhi and vipassana samadhi. So in the samatha samadhi, we can expect to attain upajjhara samadhi, exact concentration, and appana samadhi, absorption concentration. Upajjhara samadhi is a neighborhood concentration before reaching the jhana state, before reaching the absorption states. And if the upajjhara samadhi becomes stronger and stronger, it turns into the appana samadhi, jhana samadhi. So by practicing samadhi as a samatha method, the meditator can expect to attain jhana and abhiññana, absorption states and supernormal power. In other words, as a vipassana meditation, if we try to develop samadhi, samma samadhi, so we can expect to attain the khanika samadhi firstly. That khanika samadhi can help us to see the reality of nama and rupa. So we can see the nama and rupa as they really are. So by realizing the reality of nama and rupa, we can clearly see the nature of them: anicca, dukkha, anatta, impermanence, suffering, and non-self. So by seeing those characteristics of anicca, dukkha, anatta, so we will not attach to those objects which have the characteristic of anicca, dukkha, anatta. All the time they arise and disappear, they appear and disappear. So when we see like that, we are not attached to those objects. So we can remove attachment and clinging from our mind. So in this way, we can expect from the samadhi, if we practice samadhi as a samatha yanika person, so they can expect jhana and abhiññana. As a vipassana yanika person, they can expect the insight knowledge and the path fruition knowledge and Nibbāna. So the last one is a paññā. Paññā is the end of the dispensation. That is good because it brings about the equal price with respect to the desired and the undesired. So if we have Panya, so that is the end of dispensation. So our goal is to attain Panya, to attain understanding, to realize the nature of things. If we have such a Panya, so we can eliminate the defilements. So to attain Panya also, we must based on the Sila and Samadhi. Sila and Samadhi. So there are 3 steps to reach Nibbāna. We should understand, we should know according to the Eightfold Noble Path. So you have already known what are the Sila Sikkha among the Eightfold Noble Paths, and what are the Samadhi Sikkha among the Eightfold Noble Paths, and what are the Panya Sikkha among the Eightfold Noble Paths. So regarding Panya Samadhi, so we should also know the 6 kinds of right understanding Samadhi. So the first one is a Kammasakata Samadhi, right understanding of karma as belonging to beings. You know, we have a own property that is a karma. We should understand like this. If we understand like that regarding karma, so we have a Kammasakata Samadhi. Sometimes it is called Kammasakata Jnana, or Kammasakata Samadhi. The second stage of the right understanding is a Jhana Samadhi. It is concerned with the Samatha Yanika person, one who follow the Samatha method. So they can expect to attain Jhana, just now as I said. So that is right understanding of concentrated absorptions. So that is also concerning the Samadhi, that is called Jhana Samadhi. So the first one is a Kammasakata Samadhi. It is very important for a Buddhist. So if someone doesn't have Kammasakata Samadhi, so he cannot be called a real Buddhist. So someone must have this kind of Kammasakata Samadhi. If one does bad actions, so bad result will come to him. If one does good actions, so good result will come to him. So in this way, we should understand the karma and its result. We should understand. If we really understand in this way, it can be said that we have a Kammasakata Samadhi. So firstly, as a Buddhist, we should have this kind of Samadhi, Kammasakata Samadhi. And then second one, Jhana Samadhi, that is concerned with the Samatha Yanika meditator. And the third one, Vipassana Samadhi, it is concerned with the Vipassana meditation practice. So right understanding or insight. So if we practice insight meditation, we can expect to attain Vipassana Samadhi. It means insight knowledge. So there are, 16 insight knowledge in the patients in Buddhism. So we can expect to attain Vipassana Samadhi if we practice insight meditation. And then that is at the stage of attaining the noble path. The first noble path is a Sotapaddi. So Magga Samadhi also can be expected by practicing insight meditation. If our insight knowledge becomes stronger and stronger, become clearer and clearer, at that time, we can expect to attain Magga. So if we can attain Magga Jnana, Sotapaddi Magga Jnana firstly, so that Magga Jnana can eliminate the wrong view and doubt. So in this way, if we practice insight meditation, we can expect the Magga Samadhi as well. If we can attain Magga Samadhi, so continuously, the Phala Samadhi will follow after the Magga Samadhi. we don't need to try to attain Phala Samadhi. So if we can try to attain Magga Samadhi, it is enough. So Magga Samadhi will produce the Phala Samadhi automatically. That's why if we try Samadhi, Phala Samadhi will follow after Magga Samadhi. We don't need to try to attain the Phala Samadhi. The last one, Pichavakkhana Samadhi, right? Understanding or re-observation or reflection. So if we can attain Magga Samadhi, Phala Samadhi will follow that Magga Samadhi. And Phala Samadhi arises in our mind at the time. Pichavakkhana Samadhi also will follow automatically. We don't need to try to attain Pichavakkhana Samadhi. So the thing we should try to attain is the first 4 Samadhi: Kama Sakata Samadhi, Jhana Samadhi, Vipassana Samadhi, and Magga Samadhi. If we practice 4 kinds of Samadhi, Samadhi, Vipassana Samadhi, and Magga Samadhi, to automatically after the Magga Samadhi. So firstly, we should be 6 kinds of right. And after understanding, there are 6 kinds of right understanding. So there is 3 parts we should know as the next step. So that's Mula Magga, Magga, and Ariya Magga. So after reaching the 6 kinds of right understanding, so to actually apply in our daily life, as a meditation practice. So we must know these 3 parts as well. The first one is a Mula Magga. So Mula Magga, right understanding of Kama Sakata Samadhi or Kama Sakata Jnana as one's own property, and the observance of the morality, Sila Sekha. So 2 facts we should know here, right? Understanding of Kama as one's own property, Kama Sakata Samadhi, and the observance of the morality. So in the observance of the morality, we should know there are, 3 aspects: Samavaja, Samagamanda, Sama Ajiva. Samavaja, Samagamanda, Sama Ajiva. So as a, basic parts, we should apply right understanding of Kama as one's own property in our meditation practice. And then we should observe the 3 trainings, morality, training of morality. So we should apply these 2 main 2 as a basic parts. After applying those basic parts, we can also use Pobba Bhagga Magga to actually practice insight meditation. On the development of Vipassana, Appana Samadhi, and Upachara Samadhi are prerequisites for achieving the initial purification of the mind. So trying to attain Samma Samadhi is to purify our mind firstly before practicing insight meditation. So if we have a pure mind, it can help us to see the real nature of mind and matter. So we should also try to attain one kind of samadhi. But here, as a Samatha Yanika, he should try to attain Upachara Samadhi and Appana Samadhi. Otherwise, as a Vipassana Yanika person, he should try to attain the Khanika Samadhi. In Vipassana meditation, insight meditation, so there is a one kind of concentration that is called Khanika Samadhi, momentary concentration. From moment to moment, that concentration arises again and again, depends on the object. focusing on the object. Why contemplating? That kind of concentration arises one after another from moment to moment. So such a concentration is called Khanika Samadhi in Vipassana meditation, insight meditation. So Vipassana is a preliminary path. So if we practice a Four Noble Path, that path is called preliminary path. So because we are ordinary people, we don't have attained any kind of higher attainment or Sotapati Mega, Sagadagami Mega, Nai Mega, or Radha Mega. So we are ordinary people, Putujana Pogala. So when we practice insight meditation, firstly, we need to use the preliminary path. That is called Popa Bhaga Mega. Before reaching the noble path, Ariya Mega, we must use this kind of mega, this kind of path, preliminary path. So when we practice at the stage of this preliminary path, we must use the sun factors. Sun factor means Samma Vayama, Samma Sati, Samma Samadhi, and then Samma Ditti and Samma Sankappa. 5 kinds of noble factors we must use in our meditation practice as a preliminary path. Preliminary path. So to attain concentration, so we should have a effort, right effort, Samma Vayama. Samma Vayama. Without effort, we cannot expect anything in our life. So in our daily life also, without making effort, we cannot get anything. We cannot get success in our life. So firstly, we need in our life is a effort, making effort. So to get something, we must firstly have a effort. We must firstly have a energy called viriya in Pali. So using our effort, we must try to be a righteous person, to be a strenuous person, something like that. To be rich also, we must have a firstly effort. We must make effort firstly. So to be, a rich person, or to be a learned person, or to be a noble person. So whatever we expect in our life, firstly, what we should have is a Samma Vayama, is a right effort. And then using right effort to attain concentration, we must also have one factor, that is mindfulness, Samma Sati. So Viriya and Sati works together to produce concentration. So if they can produce concentration, that concentration have the Samadhi, right understanding, to understand and to realize the true nature of things, to think about something rightly in a proper way. So based on Sila, right understanding of Gamma and Sila, one can try to apply the Bhagga Mega. Bhagga Mega are right effort, right mindfulness. And then these 2 factors, right effort and right mindfulness, can produce the right concentration. That right concentration can help the meditator to think about something in a proper way, in a correct way, and also to see and to realize the nature of them. So if we can use the right effort and right mindfulness in our life, we can focus what we are doing. We can focus what we are trying to get. So in our daily life also, we can apply these 2 factors, viriya and sati. So viriya can help us to do something, and sati can help us to remember what we are doing, not to forget what we are doing. So if we don't forget what we are doing as a student, to study his lesson, to attend the classes, so sati will help us to remember, and then to focus their subjects. As a meditator, to focus meditation objects, something like that. So Viriya and Sati can help us to focus what we are doing, and also that focusing can highlight, can radiate to see clearly what we are doing, to see clearly what we expect in our life. So that is called vision. That is called vision. In some people say vision and mission. So if we have a vision, we must follow the mission, trying to get that vision. So in this way, we can apply these Pabhavagga preliminary paths we can use in our daily life to be a successful person, or in our meditation to be a good person and a better person and a noble person. So whatever we expect in our life, we must use these factors, Four Noble Paths. So as a, Vipassana meditation, so these preliminary paths are to be applied. So it needs to be developed first. So preliminary paths, Sama Vayama, Sama Sati, Sama Samadhi, and Sama Deity and Sama Sankappa must be developed firstly. If we can develop those preliminary paths, we can expect another path that is noble. So in order to lead to the noble path, we must apply the Eightfold Noble Paths. Firstly, from the understanding, right understanding of Kamma, Sakada, Samadhi, and we should have a sila. Based on those factors, we should go the next step by applying the Pabhavagga preliminary paths. Those are Sama Vayama, right effort, Sama Sati, right mindfulness. Based on these two, again, we can expect the right concentration, focusing what we are doing, focusing what we are expecting, focusing what we are trying, and we can expect the right thought and right understanding. Right thought and right understanding. We can think of rightly in a correct way. We can decide so correctly because of the right thought, right thinking. And also we can see clearly what should we do and what shouldn't we do. What we should do and what we shouldn't do, we can clearly see in our lives. In the meditation also, what we should do and what we should not do, what we should follow and what we should not follow, we can decide. We can clearly see what is right and what is wrong. So in this way, we can apply these Eightfold Noble Paths in our life as well as in our meditation. So I hope you got some ideas to apply these Eightfold Noble Paths in your daily lives as well as in your meditation practice. So that's all for today for the lecture. So we can turn to the discussion. Thank you very much.
Sadhu, 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 sadhu. Okay. Sadhu have presented us meaningfully about how we can apply the Noble Eightfold Paths in daily life, and also as well as we can apply for the practice for the meditation practice. So now we come to the Q&A session. Venerable or lay student, if you have any doubt, you have any question so far regarding to the training of morality, training of concentration, and training of wisdom, so you can ask Sayadaw now. Okay.
Thank you, Venerable Master. I have a question about how we can apply the.
Can you turn on your video?
Okay.
I want to see you also.
Turn on your camera. Yeah.
Camera. Video camera.
Okay.
If it is possible, Okay.
Thank you so much. So Coach, I have a question. So how can we apply the Noble Eightfold Path to in our daily life in the condition of we have a bad situation?
Better. So
Can
actually,
I
just
question?
now, as I said, as you all know, there are Eightfold Noble Paths. So Samavaja, firstly, Samavaja. So Samavaja concerned with the, avoiding for evil contacts, right? Regarding the, verbal actions or vocal actions. So Musawada, Pisunawaja, Prusawaja, and Sampapalaba. So firstly, we shouldn't lie. We should say the truth in our daily life. If we say the truth, the other people will believe us. Oh, this person or this man is believable. So they were believers. So because of that, good result can come to us. So if we are not believable by other people, they will not associate with us. That is the one point, right? From the, Samavaja. So as a Samavaja, firstly, we should drink lie, we should avoid telling lie, and we should say the truth. So just avoiding telling lie is not truth. We should also tell the truth. That is a Musawada, regarding the Musawada. And second one, Musawada, Pisunawaja, slandering, or, some people say about the bad things or the someone to someone. By saying so, beloved, two friends who cannot continue loving something like that because of, slandering. So we should avoid such a talking, and we should say good things for everyone to have a good relationship with each other. So it's so that kind of talking, that kind of speech will produce good result for us as well as for others. And Prusawaja. So regarding the Prusawaja also, so we just use our mouth to speak to someone. So if we use our mouth to speak, to talk, we should use the polite, use the, polite languages or polite words, polite speech. We should speak. We should avoid rude words, Prusawaja. So if we can speak polite words in a polite way whenever we talk to someone, so that talking, such a talking can help us a lot of benefits. Oh, this person is very polite, so they want to associate with us, and they can help us a lot in our daily life. If we use abusive words and abusive languages, so no one wants to associate with us, and they will stay away from us. So good people will stay away. That's why we cannot expand here or send good admonishment. We cannot get from those good and good people. So because of that, we should avoid using abusive words to someone, and we should use the, and also the last one, Sampapalaba. Sampapalaba. Sometimes we like talking. We are fond of talking a lot. So we will talk anything. Actually, such a talking is a, meaningless, useless. So just talking, we like talking. So that is not meaningful and not useful in our life. And that cannot produce a good results by talking such things. Here and there, we will talk about many things. So
His internet is not stable, maybe.
Me?
Oh, okay, Sado, you come back. Hello, Sado. Your Sado internet is not stable, I think.
Okay, can you hear?
Yeah, yes. Hello, Sado. Hello, Sado.
Okay,
Okay.
now? Okay. Okay, just now I discussed about the Sampapalapa, right? Sampapalapa, vain talk or useless talk. When we talk such a speech in our life, so it cannot produce good results for our lives. That's why we should avoid such a talking, such a speech, and we should speak meaningful words and useful words in our daily lives to attain, to be educated or to get knowledge, something like that. We should talk, such a talking. That is regarding the Samavaja. And regarding Samakamanda, we should avoid killing living things as a Panadipada Uramani. And Arinadana, we should avoid stealing others' properties, what we are not given by the owner, something like that. And the last one, Kamesu Mechajara. So we shouldn't indulge in sensual pleasure a lot. So sometimes as a worldly person, we may like to do something funny or something happy, but we shouldn't indulge in those things. So mainly the Kamesumechajara is we should avoid, sexual misconduct. Not only sexual misconduct, we should also avoid being indulgent in sensual pleasures a lot. So sometimes we may like listen to music while we are studying. So if we like to listen to the music, so we should listen to it for a while. Must have a limit time. Sometimes we forgot what we are doing, what we are studying because of being indulgent in listening too much. So we should have a limit. That's why Kamesu Mechajara, we shouldn't indulge in sensual pleasure like looking at the beautiful things or listening to the sweet sounds a lot. So that's why we should have a limit. If we have a limit, so we can avoid Kamesu Mechajara. So Panadibada Arinadana Kamesu Mechajara. Instead of healing, we should offer others' life, animals' life, by freeing them as a sanctuary, something like that. And also Arinadana. Instead of stealing others' property, we should also share our properties with other people as much as we can. So that is also very effective ways to live in our daily life. And just now, as I said, Kamesu Mechajara, we shouldn't indulge in sensual pleasures a lot. We shouldn't commit sexual misconducts. So as a lay people, if they have one husband or one wife, should be enough. But some people, they are not enough to get one husband or one wife. So they are trying to get more and more. Because of that, there are so many social problems in our lives. So we shouldn't indulge in sensual pleasure a lot, and we should have a limit. So the Buddha, so according to Kamesu Mechajara Sekhabara, the Buddha allows to get married, one husband or one wife. So it should be enough for those people, but people like to get more and more. Because of that greedy nature, there are so many problems in our daily life. So this is regarding, Samma Kammanta, Samma Vajja, Samma Kammanta, and Samma Ajiva. As a Samma Ajiva, as a means of earning as a business, we should avoid such a, Musawara, Pisuna Vajja, Sampapalapa, Musawara, Pisuna Vajja, Prusa Vajja, Sampapalapa, and also we should avoid Panadipada, Arenadana, and Kamisumechachara as a livelihood. If we can avoid those 7 rules, so we have a, Samma Ajiva. So if we, kill animals for our living, so that is a Mecha Jiva. That's why we should avoid such a livelihood and to be a right livelihood. That is a regarding, Sila Sekha. Sila Sekha, as a honest person, or as a, the person who can be believed by someone. We should be someone and can be believed by others, can have a faith by others. So as a honest person in our life, we should build ourselves as a honest person, as a virtuous person firstly. And then, we should go to the another step, Samadhi Sekha. You can see, to be a successful person in our life, we must have a ability of, trying as a viriya, and then mindfulness, not to forget what we are doing, what we are trying, as a student, what they are learning and what they are expecting from that learning, something like that. They shouldn't forget as a mindfulness. They must have mindfulness all the time. They must remember what they are doing. And Viriya, Sati, and then Samadhi, focus what they are doing. So focusing and their goal or destiny or aiming. So we must try to get it, to reach the destiny, what we are expecting to reach in our life. So as a meditator also, Nibbāna is our destiny or our goal. So we shouldn't forget Nibbāna. So we must try to go there step by step, stage by stage. So whatever we do, we must remember Nibbāna, something like that. As a student, to pass exam is their aim or their destiny for a short-term destiny. So they shouldn't forget to pass the exam. That's why if they don't forget the destiny or aim or goal, they will try more and more, something like that. Viriya and Sati. So when they can try like that, understanding will come to them. So if we try to do something again and again, it's so although first time we may make mistake, but later we will know, oh, there is a mistake, this is wrong. So I must try to do it another way. So by doing so, we will know the right way to do so. That's why Panya or Samadhi will come to us, and the right thinking or right thought also will come to us by applying those Eightfold Noble Path in our daily life, and also in our meditation. Also, we must, based on Sila and the other factor, also we must apply in our life. If you can do so, you can be a successful person in mundane affairs or in supramundane affairs. I hope you got this point. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Sarah. Okay. Any more questions? Nyom Pasuka, you may have question to ask, right? Last time. Nyom Pasuka here.
Yes, Namaskar Phante. Actually, I have the problem with the beginning of the class and I cannot cope the lesson very well. So actually, I think that I don't have any question because it might be not clear, Phante. I'm so sorry.
Okay, Nyom Suka. Nhôm Ang Nhó. So
Um,
can you turn off your camera?
yeah, Venerable.
Okay.
I want to know more about meditation. Because I want to purify my mind through meditations. So for the beginner technique, how long and how many time per day should we do it? You know, if I hardly have a lot of time, but approximately how long per day and how many time per week should I try to do if I'm a beginner for meditation? So can you clarify me on that? Thank you.
Okay, very interesting questions, and most people ask that question. Okay, so how long do you need to meditate, right? As a beginner. So actually it depends on your time. So how long you are free. How long you are free, and also you can use your time, you can spend your time in meditation. How long means to get what you mean, to attain Nibbāna, or to know the method how to practice. So depends on your expectation. So it can be, you know, it can take long times or short time. So to know how to practice, so just listen to the, you know, meditation instruction by the meditation master. You will get how to practice meditation. But to attain any attainment, or, you know, Magga Phala Nibbāna, something like that, if you expect to attain such a, you know, a higher attainment, so it depends on your perfections you have accumulated in your past lives, or you have accumulated in this life in the past time. So it depends on your background knowledge. If you practice, if you try to practice meditation to realize or to understanding the nature of nama and rupa, so it can be different time. So the answer to your question, I must give is a depends on your background knowledge, or depends on your perfection you have accumulated in the past lives or in the past time in this life. So to get the way how to practice, it's easy, I think. But to attain any higher attainment of Magga Phala Jnana, so it can be different time for different persons. So if you can get more time, it is better. You should try more and more, so you will understand. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm a beginner meditation, you know, according to the style of Goenka.
Yes.
So I will try my best, but
yeah.
I want
if you
to
get much
research
time,
more.
it is better. You can spend your time in meditation as much as you can give.
Thank you, Venerable.
Okay, okay.
Okay, any more questions? You can raise your hand, or you can turn on your camera and ask.
Can I have a question?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Respect Venerable Master, and all Venerable monks, and
Can you turn on your camera?
are actually out in my bedroom, and I'm on.
Okay.
It's a bit messy, so that's why I don't want to turn it.
Okay.
That's okay.
Thanks, Venerable, for understanding. My question is, could you explain, I mean, what is the difference between samatha samadhi and vipassana samadhi? So would you mind clarifying and explain more detail about the samatha samadhi and vipassana? Yes,
Okay.
that's my question. Thanks, Venerable, very much.
Yes, it is very interesting question. So as you know, samatha and vipassana, there is a difference between samatha and vipassana. As a samatha meditation, the meditator must focus only one object, a single object, and trying to be concentrated on that object. So as a samatha meditator, he can expect, firstly, upachara samadhi, neighborhood concentration, or asset concentration. After that, if he can be concentrated on the object, what he is taking, what he is contemplating. So if his concentration becomes stronger and stronger, more and more, so he can expect to attain the jhana, that is called appana samadhi. So absorption, concentration. So that is, as a samatha meditator, has to focus only one object. As in-breath, the out-breath, in-breath, the out-breath only. He had to focus the breath to attain asset concentration and absorption concentration. So as a samatha method, by practicing samatha meditation, the meditator must focus a single object, and he can expect to attain asset concentration and absorption concentration. And then he can expect more abhignana, like a supernatural power, like a, diving in the earth or walking on the water, surface of the water, something like that. From the, vipassana samadhi. So for the vipassana practitioners, he must practice, he must contemplate his mind using mindfulness on the clear objects. Sometimes the object can be kaya, the body, or in-breath and out-breath, or our, posture, sometimes standing or sitting, something like that. Sometimes, stretching and bending of our hand also can be the object of vipassana meditation. So as a vipassana meditation, there are many objects we had to contemplate one by one, which is very clear at the moment of practicing, at the moment of contemplating. And we can use the concentration in insight meditation that is called Khanika Samadhi. That is equivalent to the asset concentration, Upachara Samadhi in Samatha meditation. Like a asset concentration, Khanika Samadhi, momentary concentration in insight meditation also can show us, can, help us to see the meditator, the nature of mind and matter or characteristic of mind and matter clearly. So that is called the Khanika Samadhi in Vipassana meditation. So without following the Samatha method, so some people can practice insight meditation alone. That is called, Soda Vipassana Yanika person, without practicing Samatha meditation to attain any kind of jhana. So just trying to practice, trying to contemplate, seeing the nama and rupa, like a rising and falling abdomen, or in-breath and out-breath, sometimes stretching and bending of the hands, something like that. Sometimes the feeling can be the object of the vipassana meditation. According to Satipatthana Sutta, Mahasatipatthana Sutta, there are 4 objects for the insight meditation: Kaya, Vedana, Citta, Dhamma. Sometimes the mind consciousness also can be our meditation object as a insight meditation. So the momentary concentration, focus one object to another, moment to moment. So the object which is clearer is the object of insight meditator. So that momentary concentration, focus one object after another, something like that. So that can help the meditators to see the characteristic of mind and matter. So that is called Khanika Samadhi in Vipassana meditation. So basically we can say 2 kinds of Samadhi, Samatha Samadhi and Vipassana Samadhi. In Samatha Samadhi, we can subdivide it into 2, Upachara Samadhi and Appana Samadhi, asset concentration and absorption concentration. And in Vipassana meditation, just we call it as a Khanika Samadhi, momentary concentration. So these are the difference between Samatha concentration and Vipassana concentration. So I hope you got it.
Thanks very much, Venerable. Thanks, Venerable Master.
Oh, okay. Nhớ, any?
ឈ្មោះអាងលោកគុណម្ចាស់
Sorry.
ថ្វាយបង្គំ again. One last question. I really like it, you know, you explained so clearly. I also want to know, I might did something wrong because every time when I do some sitting, and every time about 5 or 10 minutes sitting, I kind of my mind kind of into Appana Samadhi, but somehow I gain some kind of soft of light, yellow or white light throughout the universe, and then I see that kind of light, and I saw that sometime it vanished, sometime it existent. So that means my meditation is not right. I just want to know if I did the right thing, because Goenka, he already passed away. I didn't have anybody to talk to. Thank you, Venerable.
Although Mr. Goenka already passed away, you have a meditation master in your place. I think so. But your speech, I noticed you have a, you know, different kinds of light appears from your nostril area, maybe, right? So when you
from here and then up through the universe, you know, like
so you can send your light through the universe. So 1,000 universe maybe. Okay, so depends on your concentration's power. So such a, you know, Nibbāna, that is called Nibbāna in Pali. So firstly, the object we take as a beginning of our meditation, the object is called Brikama Nibbāna. So in breath and out breath, the breath is a Brikama Nibbāna. We focus this breath, firstly, focusing on that breath again and again, again and again. We contemplate it again and again. So after that Brikama Nibbāna turn into the, you know, Patibhaga Nibbāna. So that is like a kind of, you know, light. The different colors can be, depends on the person. So for some people, the light can be gray, or for some people, the light can be, you know, just now, as you said, yellow or something like that. Can be different, depends on your mind. That is so mind power because of concentration. So you can create many things in your mind. That is a mind-made object. We call it mind-made object. So because your mind is concentrated, your mind has very strong concentration. So your mind can create like a light or many things. In Myanmar, you know, in some meditation centers, if they practice, after some time, they get such a, you know, Nibbāna lights. Using that light, like a, you know, torch, they follow that light, and sometimes they go to the hell to see the, you know, some people are torturing in the hell, and sometimes they go to the heaven, like a Dawa dancer, and they pay homage to the Chulamani Jeti, something like that. They can follow, depends on their Nibbāna or lights. So that can be happen in the meditation. So we cannot say that is wrong, but you shouldn't find out such a light just looking at, just focusing on the light. But you shouldn't forget your main object of your meditation. So you should come back to your main object of meditation, and then you should contemplate normally again and again, and to see the three characteristics of, mind and matter, anicca, dukkha, anatta. You shouldn't forget as a vipassana meditator. So sometimes such a light can appear in your meditation period, but you shouldn't follow those lights as a higher attainment or attainments. So just stop. If you are fond of looking at those lights, for some time you can look at them, but that is not our goal. That is not the goal of meditators. So the goal of meditator is to realize the nature of mind and matter. That's why you shouldn't forget the main point, and you should come back and practice your main work. Okay, thank you.
So we have two persons to raise their hands. So Venerable first, Savan Chandi, Chan Savandi. So Venerable, you can turn on your camera and ask.
So firstly, I would like to deeply expressing my respect to both Bhante literature and Venerable who have present in this class, also regarded to all gnomes. I have doubt in my mind, and I hope Bhante Master could provide it more specific and detailed and could clarify my doubt. I was wondering that are there any convenient methods on introducing the Noble Eightfold Paths to those who are non-Buddhist, and also especially on assisting them to be more comprehend with the inside teachings of the Buddhas. So that will be all for my question, Bhante.
For the non-Buddhists,
Yes.
is there a question?
Yeah. How can we introduce the Noble Eightfold Paths to the non-Buddhists?
Yeah. So you shouldn't use the Atthangika Magga or Ariya Magga, the Pali words, right? When you talk about the Eightfold Noble Path. So sometimes we cling to the words, not the sense, right? Sometimes we may cling to the words, Pali words, something like that. We want to use them when we talk about the Eightfold Noble Path. So if you have ability to change some words without changing the meaning, right? Without changing the meaning. So if you can use the different words that can refer to the same meaning, so you can talk to them using the different words to meet the same meanings, what we are, understanding in our Buddhism. So if you can use the different words to refer to the same meaning, to mean the same meaning, I think it will be okay to explain to the non-Buddhists to understand the Eightfold Noble Path. You shouldn't tell this is a Eightfold Noble Path come from the Buddhism, something like that. If you, treat some food to the non-Buddhists, so if they try to eat, they will like it. So the name is not important sometimes. So just the taste is very important. So you should treat them the taste of the Dhamma, not the different words, the not Pali words. So just give the taste of the Dhamma, not the words. So you can use the different words to understand the meaning of Dhamma. So if you can use the different words to understand the Buddha's teaching, especially Eightfold Noble Path, I hope it will be okay for you to explain to the non-Buddhist people. That is my answer to your question. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bhante, I've got it all. Appreciate that, Bhante.
Okay. It's my pleasure.
It's your Melanie, you have any doubt? So can you turn on your camera?
First of all, I would like to pay respect to the Master Rivata for the lesson today, and pay respect to the Venerable Saratat as well. And I would like to, this is a lot of to absorb today for me. And I am not clear about the 5 kinds of order. I know that you explained briefly on each one of them. but I still don't really, maybe too early for me to caught up with the lesson from the beginning, because I'm kind of late to get in the class as well. And my second question is about for the Samadhi or Vipassana. For the beginner, should we find the teacher to teach us to do that properly, or we can do it on our own accord? Thank you.
Okay. Okay, what is our question?
First question for the five kinds of five orders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, order means one after another. This one arise now, and then the other one arise after that, something like that. So in, the first one, this order preaching, order, expounding. Sometimes the Buddha preach. The first one is a Dukkha Satya. The second one is a Samudaya Satya, and the third one is a Nirodha Satya. And the fourth one, the last one, is a Magga Satya. In this way, the Buddha preached, beginning with the Dukkha Satya. But if we want to free from Dukkha, what should we do? So that is a kind of, order of practicing, order of practically doing. So when we practice, we must step from the, Magga Satya, right? From the last one. That is the order of practicing Patipadikama. So I think you have. Let me show again the order, 5 kinds of order. So here, Desanakama, the first one, order of teaching. So when the Buddha preached 4 noble truths, he preached firstly Dukkha Satya, and then Samudaya Satya, and the third one, Nirodha Satya, and the Magga Satya. So 4 noble truths. So when we actually practice as an order of practicing, we should step from the Magga Satya. So we must apply the 8 noble paths in our meditation practice to understand the nature of things. So if we understand the nature of things, we may not attach to those objects, those nama and rupa. So we can remove the Samudaya Satya. We can remove the craving from our mind. If we can remove the craving from our mind, so we can be free from the suffering. We can be free from the suffering, and also if we can be free from suffering, the suffering will be destroyed as a Nirodha Satya. So Nirodha Satya is the extinction of suffering, right? So as a order of teaching, the Buddha preached, starting from the Dukkha and orderly Samudaya, Nirodha, and Magga. But if we actually put into practice in our meditation, we must step from the Magga Satya. So if we must apply the 8 noble paths in our meditation practice. So if we can apply them in our meditation practice, at the same time, we can remove attachments, and also we can be free from the Dukkha, and we can, destroy the Dukkha. So I think the other orders are the Upadikama is the order of arising. We cannot change the order of arising. So the sun will rise from the east. We cannot change it, right? Starting from the east and then go slowly to the west. So we cannot change. That is a arising, a kind of arising. And also, as a conceit of a baby. So firstly, the embryo is firstly arises. We cannot change it. And there some time after, so Jeku or eyes, ear, nose, temporaries, something like that, they arise one after another. That is naturally arising. We cannot change that order. So that is called Upadikama. And Bahanakama order of eradicating. So when we eradicate by the parts, by the mega, so Sotapatti mega will eradicate deity and Vicikiccha. But when the Buddha preached the 10 kinds of defilements, starting from the Lobha, right? Lobha, Dosa, Moha, etc. The Buddhas preach one order, but when the path eradicates them, starting from the deity and Vicikiccha, the Sotapatti mega has to eradicate the deity and Vicikiccha firstly. So that kind of order is called Bahanakama, order of eradication, order of eradicated. And the last one, Bhumikama, is also a kind of nature. So Kama, Bhumi, Rupa, Bhumi, and Arupa, Bhumi, orderly they exist. So we cannot change it, just to understand. So Kama Bhumi is the lowest one, and Rupa Bhumi is the middle one, and the Arupa Bhumi is the highest one. So that is the order of realms, order of Bhumi. So there are 5 kinds of order. So among the 5 kinds, what we should focus here is a Desanakama and Patipadikama, and then Bahanakama. So when the Buddha preached, he may preach starting from the Samadhi, but when we actually practice in our meditation, we must step from the Samavaja, Samakamada, Samaajiva, from the Sila training, something like that. So it depends on the situation. Sometimes the Buddha preached starting from the one Dhamma, but if we actually practice, we had to start with another one, like Sila. So in this way, we should understand the 5 kinds of order. Among the 5, we should focus only 3: Desanakama, Patipadikama, and Bahanakama. So firstly, we need to focus Desanakama and Patipadikama. So when we practice, we must focus this order of practicing. So I hope you understand. Thank you for your question.
Okay, Sarah, for her, she has another question. Should we have a qualified teacher when we practice Vipassana? I don't confuse.
Yeah, not only Vipassana meditation, but also in every case, if we have a good teacher, qualified teacher, it is better, right? So whatever we do, if we have a teacher who can instruct, who can show the right way and wrong way, so it will be easy for us to do something. Whatever we do, if we have a teacher or master or instructor, it is better. But if we cannot find the qualified teacher in your place, you should try to get the, to find something or audios or videos or the books you can find. In the modern way, it is very easy to get such a, source to get the, like a qualified teacher. So you should read the book written by the qualified teacher, and also you should listen to the Dhamma preached by the meditation master. So if you can do so, you can have a qualified teacher, competent teacher to instruct how to practice in your meditation, how to do something in your life. So if you can get the qualified teacher, it is better. So if you cannot find a qualified teacher in your place, near your place, so you should do just now as I said. So I hope you got it, this one also. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Sado. And we have another one who raised his hand. Nhom Nin, Naginin. Okay, are you here now? You can turn on your camera and ask Sado. Nhom Kinin. No. Nhom Kinin. Okay. So, Sado, to me personally, I also have the question.
Okay.
So I think it's not a trouble for Sado, because 1.5 hours already Sado talked talk. So don't
Yeah.
make it tired. So, okay. I also have one question. We are living in the complicated world now. There are a lot of problems. People got stressful at work, stressful in family, and as we are just recover from COVID-19, and
Yeah.
there are many crises. In Cambodia, we are facing economic crisis, and also in Myanmar, political crisis and economic crisis. Not only Cambodia and Myanmar, they are also in the world. So people got stressful. They are so stressful. So how can the middle path be used to cope with all these problems? That's it. Thank you, so Sarah.
Okay. So starting, I must start from the first factor of right understanding. So if we understand there are so many problems in the world, not only in our own place, but also the other place around the world, all over the world, there are so many problems, full of the problems. So not only us, but also others, they have their own problems. So everyone has to face the problems in everyone's life. So no one can avoid the problem. So that is called Dukkha in Pali, right? Dukkha.
Yes,
Because of samudaya, because we attach to our own place or our own body or our own thing or something like that, because of very attachment to our own person or our own place or our own country, something like that, because of such an attachment. So if we had to face some difficulties, we may suffer unsatisfactoriness. We may not like those situations. So such a problems, such a difficulties can happen nearly all the time. So no one can avoid such a problems. So firstly, we should understand like this. So problems and human beings are, like a twins. We cannot separate. Like a twins, we cannot separate. So when we are as a being, when we are born as a being in every existence, so the problem or suffering or dukkha will accompany us. So the problem is our, friend, like our friend, or like our partner or our companies. So if there is a problem, so how can we solve the problem? We should have a way or method to solve that problem. So that is a, Eightfold Noble Path. So Eightfold Noble Path is in brief, Sila Samadhi Panya. So Sama Vaja, Sama Kamada, Sama Ajiva, firstly. And then the main important factors are, most important factors in actually practicing, so Sama Vayama. We must have effort, strong effort to overcome such a difficulties, such a problem. So as much as we can, we must try to solve the problem or to overcome those problems. Just sitting and seeing those problems is not the right solution to solve those problems. That's why as much as we can, we must solve those problems. Can be the problems different economic problems or health problems or education problems, or many problems can be. So depends on the problems we had to face. Firstly, we must try to mindful of that problem, and we must focus the problem. What kind of problem is this? And what is the cause of that problem? We should know firstly. If we know the cause of problem is this, we should, if we can remove the source or the origin of problem, we should remove it. We should remove it. Every person in every country had to face that, like many crises, like a COVID-19 or practice or economic, something like that. So depends on their feed, we should know what is the problem and the cause of the problem. So if we understand the problem, we should also know the cause of problem. If we know the cause of problem is this, so we should remove it. We should try to remove it. So we need to understand what we are facing or what we are encountering, and also what is the cause of that situation. So we should know. So it is a practice problem. So sometimes can you solve that such a problem as a Buddhist monk? So practice problems or economic problems, maybe there are many problems can happen in the world. But what we should focus is the problem of, suffering. So aging, sickness and death, that is the most serious problems in our life, what the Buddha taught, right?
Yes.
So if we can escape those problems, if we can overcome those problems without being reborn in existence, so the other problems automatically can be solved. So because of being born as a being, as a human, we had to know these problems. We had to face the problem. If we will not be reborn as a being, so we cannot face any problems, because we were not as a person, we will not be a person. But as much as we can, we should find what is the problem, and the cause of the problem depends on our feet, depends on our place. And if we know the cause of the problem, we should remove it. We should try to remove it and to get a solution. So I think, in my opinion, we should try to do so to solve the problems. So if we can, cut off our attachment and clingings, if we can clean our defilements, so we will not be reborn as a being. So it is the better way, the best way to solve any problems. So we will not encounter or we will not face any problems in our future lives. Okay.
Thank you, Sarah.
Answer.
Venerable Bro, you want to ask yourself, or you want me to read for you your question? Welcome, Bro, here. So
yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
okay. So for his he has two questions here. What make you think that action is morally wrong, Sarah? What make you think that action is morally wrong?
Or what makes you think
that action is morally wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you change the question? I think.
So, to your opinion, that what make you think that any kind that you think that it is wrong and it is right, something like that? You mean like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Venerable Pro?
Yeah, sure. I prefer to.
Okay.
Sorry.
I guess
because perspectives regarding the immoral actions. For example, some they believe that morally wrong action refer to harming. Can you classify, or can you mention a little bit about harming? Because sometimes people believe that just fighting for self-defense, is it just called harming?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Fighting for self-defense, we can focus the law of the country, right? So if one lady, if she was raped by someone. So what kind of thing should she do at the time of that situation? So if she defends herself doing something, maybe, you know, hitting with some stick or striking with the knife, maybe something. So such a action is a very serious action, or the minor action for according to the law of the country, if we see the law of the country. So it's a very serious offense or minor offense to defend herself by raping from someone. So we should think of that. That is according to the law. And according to, you know, Abhidhamma, so if we see the problem, such a situation, so sometimes we have a duty to defend ourselves. But by defending, so if we kill someone or if we kill some other many people, maybe, so such a action is a good or bad, according to Abhidhamma. So if we kill someone, that is a panadibada, right? So that is not good action. But actually, sometimes we have to sacrifice ourselves to defend our people or to defend our relatives, maybe. So like, you know, Bodhisattva. The Bodhisattva sometimes he has to sacrifice himself for his, you know, audience, or for his, you know, partners, or for his companies. But because of doing so, he had to suffer the result of the bad karma. Sometimes he has to, you know, be reborn in the hell because of some bad action or evil action. But he sacrificed himself and he bravely faced such a bad result of his action. So because of defending other people, that action is not a good one, not kusala. But that action is a akusala. But he has to sacrifice himself to face such a bad result also. He is there. He's there to do that action, and also he is there to accept the result of that action also. So sometimes we had to think of like that. We must sacrifice ourselves to defend ourselves and also to defend our beloved ones or our families or our people, something like that. So because of, you know, such an action, they cannot be, you know, such an action cannot be called a good action. But although it is a bad action, sometimes as a, you know, person who wants to defend himself or defend the people of him, so he must do it. He should do it. But he must, you know, face the results of that bad action also, according to Abhidhamma. But sometimes, according to law of the country, law of a country, so he can be, you know, released from such an action according to the law. And also he can be also happy because he can defend himself and he can defend his people. Because of that also he can be happy. But if he kills someone without any, you know, meaningful intention, so he can be unhappy. He cannot be happy. So we should see like that, such a problem. I think so. Doing bad deed is a bad action, but we cannot say that is a good action. But although he does that bad action, he must not be afraid of facing the result of that bad action also. So he must sacrifice himself for the people of him. So we should understand like this. That is according to my opinions. So maybe different different ideas or different views can be. So thank you very much.
Okay, Sado, thank you so much. So I think we have one last question. I think just one last question. How can you morally act toward, I think this is maybe hate speech or abusive speech, which is racing around the world. So how can you handle, how can you act morally toward the abusive speech, which is racing around the world?
Oh, so if you hear such abusive speeches, how should we react, right?
Yeah, react.
Okay, so if you can pretend as a deaf person, it is good. That is the first way to reaction such abusive speeches. But if you cannot be so, just listen from the right ear and put away from the left ear. So like that is also a kind of good method, not to be angry with such a, you know, abusive speech. And also we should, if we have a, you know, Kamaskada jnana, we know bad action produce bad results, evil results. Good action produce good results and profitable results, something like that. If we understand the law of karma, so we can also, you know, oh, because of bad actions of him or her, he or she were had to encounter bad results because of his or her abusive speeches. So if we can think of, so also we can overcome such a difficult situation. And also, just now, as I said, you know, if we can listen to right ears and then put it away from the left ears. So, and also we can pretend as a deaf person. I don't hear anything. I don't listen to what they are speaking, abusive speeches, something like that. If you cannot do so, you should stay away from them. If you can go away from them, you should go away from them. You shouldn't listen to them. Unavoidably, if you had to listen to those abusive speech, so you should consider about the Kamaskada jnana firstly, and then you should practice insight meditation just here and here and here. Sute Sutta Mata. So that is the last way, I think, to overcome such a difficult situation. Okay.
Yes, I know. By firmly practicing the Noble Eightfold Path, the ordinary people in this present life can attain Nibbāna or not. Just for a short, maybe for a short answer, Sado, I will ask, read again. By firmly practicing the Noble Eightfold Path, the ordinary people in this present life can attain Nibbāna or not. Question from Nyom Kenin. Yeah.
So according to Abhidhamma, someone must be reborn with the three roots, Dukkha, right? Including amoha, panya, from the, you know, Patisandi. So such a person, if they practice right method of meditation, so they can expect to attain such a Megaphala Nibbāna. But if someone was reborn with as a Dukkha person, only Aloba and Arosa without Amoha, Hetu, Amoha root. So although they're trying to practice insight meditation using these Eightfold Noble Path, they cannot expect to attain higher attainment of Jhana Megaphala in this very life. The practice or the trying or their meditation can be the perfection parami for the future lives. So not everyone cannot attain Nibbāna in this very life. Depends on its Patisandi. If he is a Dukkha person, he can expect to attain higher attainment of Nibbāna in this very life.
Okay, this is what we call Pada Parama Pukala, right, Sero?
Yeah, Pada Brahma Bogala. 4 kinds of Bogalas.
Yeah.
Ogadi Tenyu, Vipenchi Tenyu, and Neya Bogala and Pada Brahma Bogala. Ogadi Tenyu, as soon as he listened to the one stanza or 2 padas from the Buddha or from the disciple of the Buddha, he may realize, he can realize, and he can attain higher attainments of Magafala Nibbāna. And Vipenchi Tenyu Bogala, they had to listen to the Dhamma in details, and then they can realize. And that one, Neya Bogala, not only listening to the Dhamma in detail, but also they had to practice for a long time. So later they can attain. For the Bada Brahma, the last person, he cannot expect any attainment in this very life. So there are 4, kinds of Bogala, 4 kinds of person. So Ogadi Tenyu Bogala, Vipenchi Tenyu Bogala, Neya Bogala, and Bada Brahma Bogala.
Okay, Sadhu. So I think we have no more question. So for this session, I would like to invite one student, Venerable Sung Sathon, on behalf of all the students to express your appreciation and sincere thanks and gratitude to our Sayadaw today. So please, 5 minutes, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Venerable. And thank you, Venerable Master. Today we learned a lot from you. You present a good presentation, a great presentation for today. And it is time we do not talk too much. In the name of all students today, we are so thankful for you today, and we really rejoice with your teaching for today.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's my pleasure also.
Okay, Sadhu.
You worked so hard today.
Okay.
Sayadaw worked so hard today, more than 1.5 hours Sayadaw talk. So I would like to appreciate, to express my appreciation and gratitude to Sayadaw for the lecture. We have learned a lot. You enlighten us about the Noble Eightfold Path that we can apply in our daily life. Okay, so we conclude our class. We don't have time for discussion. Sorry for that. Breakout room discussion. So we don't have time. So we conclude our class. Maybe conclude our class now by reciting Buddha Sasanang Jirang Titatu 3 times altogether. Okay.
Buddha
Sasanang Jirang Titatu.
Buddha
Sasanam Jiram Titatu. Buddha Sasanam Jiram Titatu. Sadhu. Thank you again for Sayadaw. Okay.
May you be well.
Thank you so much.
Nibbāna as soon as possible.
Sadhu.
Sadhu. Thank you so much.
Okay. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining the class today. See you next week.
Thank you, Venerable. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Venerable.
Venerable teacher.
Venerable Master. Goodbye.
Venerable,
Yes.
do we have any Facebook Live or something? Because I have a problem with my Wi-Fi internet.
We have in YouTube. Nyom Sathiri will post in the YouTube and share the link. Yes.
Oh, not in a Facebook or in a YouTube.
Yeah, not in Facebook. Only in YouTube.
Oh, chắc màខ្ញុំក៏ណាទៅមើល YouTube មិនឃើញសោះ
Okay.
ហ្នឹងមេរៀនថ្ងៃនេះអូយតែសប្បាយដល់ស្ដាប់ក៏តែអត់បាន beginning ថាស្ដាយ
Okay.
ហ្នឹងហើយ